Hey guys, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do this video demonstration on a foot. I'm going to do just one foot, okay? I'm going to go through the service rather quickly. You pause the video and then come back and play the video when you're ready. So I'm going to do one application of the product to do the scrub on one foot, and then I'm going to move on to the next step. You need time to do the foot, to watch what I'm doing, to do the foot, and then do the other one. Okay, if you continue the video, I'm already on to the next step before you're even ready to move on to your second foot. So please make sure that you play and pause as we go along, since I'm only demoing on one foot. Now, I'm also demoing on a foot that doesn't have a leg, okay? I'm going to show you the steps of a foot service, okay? The service we're doing today is from the knee to the tip of the toe. So for yourself, or if you're doing it at home on someone, please make sure to go from the knee down the leg to the heel to the toe, okay? I'm showing you only from the foot down because I don't have a leg attached to this, okay? So please make sure to pause the video, give yourself enough time to go from the leg down. You're going to do the same manipulations, although I'm not going to go too much deep into it, but same manipulations from the leg down as you're doing your steps and application, okay? If you want to use the squeezy bottle to rinse whenever it's time to rinse, that's a lot easier. You're more than welcome to do that. Okay, so please don't forget, from the leg down to the tip of the toe. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started with today's assignment. Today we are going to be doing the tropical foot and leg treatment with a foot scrub, alright, the heel scrub. So let me we'll go over what you're going to be needing, okay? So for obviously for our notes, as we've been doing, is your journal. And this is the tropical leg and foot treatment. When I say leg, you're going to go from the knee down to the tip of the toe. Okay, so we've been doing feet. Now we're adding legs. Okay, you're going to write down the supplies, you're going to write down your steps, and you're going to write any notes down here. Okay, so you can do that before, during, or after you watch the video, however you choose. Make sure you take a picture of your notes and a picture of you doing the service, so that way you can put it in your PowerPoint as proof that you did the assignments, and turn that in on Friday. Okay, so we also have your pedicure bin. If you don't have the big silver bowl, you have just a bin at home. You have your liner. If you don't have any more, that's fine, no worries. Anytime that we work on feet at school, we always use gloves. Now I have these brown ones, so we're just going to work with these, but it's a tropical pedicure, so maybe like some bright colored blue ones or some white ones or clear. The brown would be great for like the chocolate pedicure or the chocolate manicure, but maybe like some bright colored, to match, bright colored anything to match. Okay, when you're doing seasonal services in the salon, that definitely is an eye catcher for the clients. Okay, so you have your water, it's nice and warm. You have your product. Okay, we have our bath petals, our soak. We have our scrub, our lotion, massage oil, and our lotion. Okay, we have our spatula to remove product from the containers. We have our 5-piece pedicure kit. I'm going to be demoing on a foot. We have some towels. I'm going to show you how to do a particular twist with this towel for presentation, and if you want, your petty slippers is fine. Let me show you the twist really fast. So you're just simply taking the towel, okay, and you're just rolling the towel like so. Now, I've showed you in the last lesson how to fold the towel to get it, how to roll it to get it looking nice. So here we're just going to bend it in half, okay, and we're just going to twist it. Now, my towel's a little dry, there's the water. So as I twist it, it's going to give me a little roll. So you can present it like that should you choose, or you can twist the towel first Okay, give it a good little tug, nice and tight. And then you can twist the towel the opposite direction, folding it in half, twisting it. And then I know it's really bright in the light, but you get like this little twist design. And you can lay this down on your table and it's nice and neat, and you can put a little flower on it, just a bamboo stick, something to kind of make it look presentable and nice, and kind of I always say a Pinterest worthy photo. Something that your client is going to want to take a picture of so that they can post it and their friends can see, and then their friends can say, hey, where are you at? What are you doing? Where'd you get that done? And then they can go ahead and refer you. Okay. And then of course, an extra towel to dry. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to go ahead and have you're going to sew. Now this one flips over, so bear with me because it's got foam on the inside, so it's going to do its own thing. So go ahead and soak your feet in, or soak the client's feet, depending if you're at school, you're doing yourself. If you're at home, you're either doing yourself or you're doing someone. So as you're soaking your feet, know that the water is warm, maybe a little too hot at first. We've talked about this already. It's hot because your feet, it feels hotter than what it is because your feet are not used to getting wet on their own at this temperature. So your client will say, oh, it's too hot, add cold water. No. You can add a little bit, but don't add a lot. Okay, just tell them, dip your feet in, pull them out. Dip them in, pull them out. Get them acclimated to the temperature, and you'll see it's going to feel good in just a second, because if I pour cold water in, then it's going to be too cold in about 5 minutes, and you're not going to enjoy your service. Okay. Besides, the warm water helps soften the dead skin, gives you a better scrub here in just a minute when we scrub the heels. So from here, and I'm just going to let this go. So I'm going to go ahead and take now I have my gloves on. Every time we work on feet at school, we wear gloves. So if you want to, if you're doing yourself, you have to. If you're doing someone else, you can. So I'm going to go ahead and take my little bath petals. So these here are little shapes, okay? These are hearts. There's little kind of X's or flowers, if you will, in here. And these are soap, okay? So I'm just going to sprinkle them. They look like little flower petals. Okay, they come in different scents and different colors. Okay, but this is soap. And you're going to see there on the toe, you can already see how it's beginning to dissolve and it's stuck to the toe. And you can see on the rest of the water it's beginning to dissolve. These are a little bit messy and hard to get off. They are a little bit gooey. Okay, so you can see a little sudsy there. The bubble starts to pop up. Okay, but sometimes it's a little difficult to take off. So just rubbing the foot like so will definitely help, making sure that none of that gets stuck to the client. Okay, because you don't want your client to have the soap stuck to them. Let me dim this light down just a little bit. Okay, that's a little better. All right, so from here, we're going to let the client just kind of play with that a little bit. That adds a little bit of a visual flavor, I like to say, to our pedicure, okay? You can see the water gets, well, maybe not in the video so much, but the water starts to get a little orange because it starts to pick up the color of the petals, and it starts to look a little dirty, okay? So you always want to combine it with some salt. So you want to sprinkle your salts in. Now you can sprinkle your salts in first, okay? Get that going. And then sprinkle in your, oh, that smells so good. Sprinkle in your soap petals. That works as well. Now the combination of these two, the smell is so good. So you have your client soak for 5 minutes. Okay, so 5 minutes is typically a good amount of time for a soak. You want the client's feet to get acclimated to the water. You want any disinfecting to happen, or getting rid of any bacteria that they might have on their feet. Okay, you want to make sure that you let them soak long enough so that there's softening happening with any dead skin. Okay, so that it will loosen up. So in a little bit when we do our heel scrub, our foot scrub, with a little sponge that will be able to or not, I'm sorry, it is not a sponge. Okay, we do not use sponge or any sponges to scrub the feet with. Okay, it is a little pumice pad. My apologies, or a little pumice stone if you want to use that particular kind. Okay, so you want the client to play around with it. Okay, with the water, dissolving some of those petals. So you'll notice that the water starts to turn an orange type of color. Okay, and it smells so good, so good. Okay, all right, so, and if they have any, just, kind of, it'll come off in a little bit when you do the scrub. So the next thing that you want to do after they have put their feet in the water for 5 minutes, okay, we're going to go ahead and do our pedicure. So we're going to take our package. In here, you have your toe separators, so keep those to the side for a little bit. You're going to use those. Yesterday, we did the dry manicure, okay, the dry manicure. So I'm going to pull my supplies out. I'm going to put these to the side. So what I want you to do is when you take the feet out, dry the toes. I want you to do all three. Okay, push the cuticle back. You're going to file the nail. We're not cutting the nail. We're not clipping. You're going to push the cuticle back. You're going to file the nail or file and push, however you choose. You've been in there for 5 minutes, so it's soaked and the cuticles are soft. And then any dead skin on the toes, you want to go ahead and come on in and scrub the side, the little skin on the side of the nails. Okay, on the nail walls. You want to go ahead and scrub those. If they've got any little bit of calluses on the tip of the toe, if it's a little bit soft callus or a little bit dead skin, you can use this orange buffer that has a very light grit to go ahead and buff off any of that dead skin. A lot of the times you're going to have dead skin on the outside of the foot, on the bunion area, okay, where this bone grows and the toes go inward, and then on the side of the foot here. This might not work for that. It might be too much, but if it's just a little bit, it'll work. But definitely not for the heel, because this won't do much to the heel unless it's very little dead skin. But 5 minutes, and then take care of the push, the cuticle push. I'm sorry, the pushing the cuticle, the filing the nails, and the buffing of the light dead skin that you have there. Go ahead and pause your video and come back whenever you're ready. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is take our scrub. Okay, now, let me say something. Okay, where is my little spatula go, first of all? I've lost my little spatula. Okay, I've lost my little spatula. That's all right, because I wasn't going to use it anyway, but let's pretend that this is, I know this is my file, but let's pretend this is my spatula, because I don't know where I left my little spatula. But you're going to scoop up half of the product in the container. You're going to scoop it up into your hands, and then you're going to apply onto the foot. Okay? That's if you use a spatula. Now, you will see in salons, they don't use spatulas because they're using their hands. So you're going to dip in, take half of the product, okay? Put the little container to the side because you're going to need it for the other foot. You're going to come in, you're going to emulsify. After you've taken the foot out of the water, you're going to come in and you're going to do circular rotations. Okay, oh, it smells so good. I love this tropical pedicure because the smell is delicious. Really does smell good. Okay, so I'm going to turn the foot this direction just simply because if I was doing it on someone, this is literally how I would be facing the foot. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and come on in and I'm going to apply. Okay, I'm going to apply my product. Now, this is a sugar scrub, okay? So you'll notice it's definitely a different consistency. When you kind of roll it between your fingers, the sugar begins to dissolve, okay? So I'm going to take the foot, the heel, in the palm of my hand, and I'm going to do circular rotations like so, okay? Circular rotations, circular rotations. I'm putting to the side so you can see, but really you have the client's foot held with your one hand and the heel with the other hand, and you're doing circular rotations like this. But I'm doing it to the side so you can see, okay? Then I want to take my fingers and I want to go in like this. Now, a lot of times when people take a bath or shower, the wall at the very end, all the water drains, and sometimes all the gunk gets stuck here, and people don't scrub this part of their feet for some reason. Anytime you do a pedicure and you do circular rotations here, there's a lot of dead skin in these two spots, and it's kind of weird, but definitely you want to scrub that. So I want to come in, circular rotation on the sides, and then I'm going to take the palm of my hand. I'm going to really push it back using the inside part of my knuckles, and I'm going to do a circular, I'm going to turn it this way, circular rotation on the bottom of the foot, okay? And then I'm going to go over the top, okay? Circular rotations. And I'm doing circular rotations so that way I can go ahead and get some assistance with that motion to get some of that dead skin off, okay? Now, in between the toes, sometimes you feel it like at your throat. It's a weird kind of tickle that almost makes you want to gag a little bit. So you want to be gentle and ask your client if that's okay. If you feel them kind of like pull their toes back or their foot or move, just kind of back off a little bit. Okay, so start in the pinky, go in between the toes, and I'm just putting my thumb in between, and I'm just kind of going through the toes like so, okay? Making sure you get all that dead skin in between the toes, all that sock fuzz that gets stuck in there, and then go around the cuticles and like so, hug the toes like so, okay? So there you go, you're applying the product, helping get rid of all the dead skin to exfoliate. Okay, don't rinse yet. You want to take your pumice pad, okay? Now, it hurts, okay? If you feel it, it's hard. See, I just broke it. That's how hard it is. Okay, you heard that break, okay? So I'm going to take my pumice stone, okay? Mine's small, yours big, and you can cut it to smaller pieces should you choose. And I'm going to first, as I'm doing my circular motions with my sugar scrub, I'm feeling for any dead skin, for any hardening that might be on my client's skin, okay? If I don't feel hard or cracked skin or thick calluses, I'm not going to use this. You saw how I cracked it. It's really hard. Why would I scrub my client's skin if there's no callus? I hate that. I always go, when I get a pedicure done, they always want to scrub this bone, this side. There's no callus there, okay? There's no callus. If you scrub with this, imagine, if you just want to just kind of scratch your skin a little bit, try it, and it hurts. Okay, so definitely pay attention to that. But what you're going to do is you're going to grab the foot, you're going to take the pumice, and you're going to do circular rotations at the bottom of the foot, okay? Only where you feel that there's dead skin. Another thing, a pet peeve of mine. I'm going to turn it this way. Okay, they're doing the circular rotation, removing the callus that's down here, all the dead skin, right? Because all of the weight of our body falls onto this part of the foot when we're walking at some point. And then what they do is they come here and then they do this whole side. Why? There's no dead skin here. Well, there's no callus here. So imagine if you just take this and just scrub your arm, that hurts. Imagine on your foot where this side here is pretty thin skin, or over if you have skinny feet and you have really, pronounced bones, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna cut the client. So be careful. Only do it where they have calluses, and usually it's the heel. It's this little side bone on the bottom of the pinky. It's the bunion bone, and then it's the side of the big toe. Sometimes there's some at the bottom where the bend of the foot is, okay, and then sometimes on the toes. But those you can get with that orange buffer, okay? So you want to be very gentle, circular rotation. A lot of people will come in and wet the pumice stone. It doesn't really do much because it's not softening it. It's just kind of maybe rinsing it. But pretty much you can say this is a sponge. You can see all the little holes in there. It is porous. It will absorb. So once you use it, you throw it away. Throw it away. Unless if you're using it on yourself, then you can keep it and reuse it for yourself or for that client. But don't don't reuse this on someone else because the dead skin is now on here, okay? So you're going to go ahead and do that on both feet. Whenever you're done, you can just leave the pumice floating around should you choose, and then you're going to immerse the foot. As you're rinsing the foot, okay, don't forget that you've paused the video and you do the second foot, come back, and then we'll continue. So if you need to pause, pause now, okay, and continue doing that throughout the entire service. All right, so then as you're coming in, you want to come in and pick up the water with your hand. As you're dipping your hand in, what you're doing is you're rinsing your hand at the same time. You don't want to come in here and be like, okay, let me rinse my hands really quick. No, you don't want to do that. You want to come in and you want to use their foot to rinse the product and wipe the product off of your hand and their foot at the same time. So you want to come in and you want to feel for any product. In between the toes, same thing. You want to make sure gently get in between the toes. You can use a squeezy bottle, but you're just pushing the product or rinsing the product off with the water that you have here, okay? You can take the foot out, okay? You can dry it, okay? And then we can go from here. So go ahead and pause the video, okay? Rinse both feet, dry both feet, and then come back. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and dry. So I'm drying both feet. And as I'm drying the foot, I am also drying my hands. Now I'm not going to stop and do this, right, and dry my hand or my glove. I am just, you know, without the client noticing, I'm drying both. Okay, should I have another towel, I can use that and wipe as well. Now, if you notice, the water is dirty. First thing that you'll see is the decoloration. Now it's not a bright orange, it's kind of a dull orange because of all the dead skin. And then, and this is just the mannequin foot, right? But, and it had lotion on before, but you'll have a different whitish type of color if there's a lot of dead skin. If there's sock fuzzies or any other bacteria dirty, you'll definitely see the color at a different tone. Your pumice stone, if you're gonna throw it away, okay, grab it and toss it. And anything left over, like from the little soap suds, the little soap, if there's any pieces, you just leave those in the water and they go down the drain, okay? But anything else, you wanna throw that away. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and push this to the side. So 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my towel down, a towel down, still have my gloves on. Okay, remembering that you're pausing to complete a step at any point in the video, okay? So what I'm going to do, my next 2 steps is my oil for my massage and my lotion for my hydration, okay? And I don't know what I did with my little spatula. Okay. Really don't know where, oh, there it goes. Okay. So we've already done all these other steps, so let me just clean up my station for a quick second. You always want to make sure that you are keeping your area nice, neat, and clean. The last things that we have are our pedicure slippers and our toe separators. We're going to use those at the very end after we apply our lotion. Okay, but first we're going to do our massage. Okay, so we have a towel here that has a little bit, well, it's damp, okay? It's warm, damp, so you put it in the towel warmer. Put that to the side. Sorry, I forgot my foot. I was like, something's missing. My foot is missing. Okay, so once you pull this out, it's nice and shiny looking. The skin looks really healthy. It's alive. It has an alive look. It doesn't look dull and cracked and flaky and tired. It looks alive, okay? You can definitely, if you do one foot the whole service and not the other, when you put them together, you can definitely tell one looks, it looks bright. It has some tone to it, and the other one is just really dull. So that's why I say it looks alive. But once you do that, all of that, you take the foot out, you dry. Okay, you can do both one at a time, up to you. Once you're done with that water, you're done with it. You've already rinsed the foot. You're not going to put the foot back into the water, but you still do have your gloves on. Okay. Could you take the gloves off at this point? Sure, but you don't have to. Okay. Keeping in mind that if you don't use gloves, if you ever have any cuts, paper cuts, any nicks, any hangnails, any exposed, open, cuts, any ouchies, okay, that you might have that are an opening per se for something to an outside bacteria to come into your body, you want to make sure to take good care of yourself. Okay, you want to make sure that you protect yourself by putting gloves on, whether they're finger cuts, if you're just doing fingers and not submerging your entire hand in the water, or gloves, or what band-aids, waterproof band-aids, whatever it be. But if there's any openings on your hands, you want to make sure to protect yourself. Okay. All right, so next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our oil. This one's pretty full, so be careful. This is our pineapple oil, okay? So we're going to pour a little bit of the oil, and if you don't want to pour, if you want to take your spatula and kind of do a little bit at a time to not be so messy and not drop any, you're more than welcome to. These were filled up to the rim. So then you're going to take your oil. Now notice how much I used. Notice how much I still have in here. Okay? So you don't need a lot of product. I love the smell. So we're going to go ahead and come on in. And we're going to apply the oil all over. There's a video that I want you to watch. Okay? In Schoology. So go ahead, and what you're going to do after you apply the oil all over, don't forget in between the toes, you have it nice and oily. You're going to go ahead and you're going to watch the video, pause this video, watch the other video, and follow the steps of the massage. Okay? Just like yesterday. When you're done, okay, leave that video, come back to this one. Okay, so go ahead and do that now. Okay, now that you're back, you've already done your massage, you followed the video, you followed the steps to that video, okay? The oil on your hands should already have been absorbed if you used your own without gloves, okay? If you didn't, you might still have that oil feel on your gloves, okay? Predominantly, it's going to be on the guest, on the client. Now, oily is very slippery, okay? The lotion will absorb and sometimes get a little tacky, but the oil is very slippery, so that your client does not fall, especially if they're walking out of the salon with flip-flops, okay? You want to take a warm towel. You want to put the towel down like a diamond, okay? The point of the towel goes to the heel. Put the foot in the middle, and you're going to pick up the point here. And of course, you don't put your hand on the top of the client's foot like that because obviously they have a leg. But you're going to push all this upwards like so. Okay. And then take the sides and you're going to wipe off. Okay. You take the point and then you can come in and you want to go in between the toes. Okay, so the point in the back is for the heel, the point in the front is for the toes, the points on the side are to wiggle back and forth to get the top, sides of the leg, top of the foot, and sides of the foot. Okay, then you're going to take the foot like so. I'm showing you the bottom view, and you're just going to pick up any last remaining bits of oil that you might have on the client's foot. Okay, this will now have removed as much oil as possible so that your client is able to put their shoe on and not slip. Okay, Now you, from here, okay, pause, play, etc. From here we have our lotion, okay? So let's go ahead and take our lotion. We're going to, remember we use this side for the oil. Don't want to use that one because we don't want to cross-contaminate. We're going to use the spatula the opposite side. We're going to pick up a little bit of lotion. You don't need a lot, okay? We're going to close this back up, put that to the side, and then we're going to apply our lotion now. With this particular time, we're not doing a massage. We have already done the massage. This is just an application of lotion for moisturizing. It is not a massage. We have already done the massage. It doesn't mean you're just gonna like, okay, I'm done, like slap it on there. No, you still want to come in and you're still working the foot. You're still maneuvering your fingers, making it feel nice, getting a good flow, going between the toes. Oops, sorry. You definitely want to, make it comfortable and relaxing and soothing to your client, but you're not taking the time to do a massage. We've already done that, okay? So you want to come last motion, you want to come and swoosh off the feet. Take a towel or a napkin, whatever you need to, or you can just wipe on the side like so, okay? Then if you're going to polish the toenails, take polish remover and get rid of all of the oils, all of the lotions on the fingernails, on the toenails before you paint so that it sticks, okay? So make sure you get that. But toe separators. The toe separators go in between the toes to separate the toes. So that way you can polish the nails without having to worry about the toenails touching and then the nail polish getting messed up, okay? So some people, you might have to use two, depending on the type of toe separator. It might be very flimsy, it might not work. It just kind of depends on quality, okay? So these are the toe separators. You can push them all the way back, okay, to the little webs, or you can keep them more towards the tips of the toes, okay, and you can have these horizontal or you can have these vertical. Depends on how much of a open you need for the toes, okay? From here, okay, that's the toe separator. You have your pedicure slipper. Now, some people use both. Some people only use one. So you tell your clients, go ahead and close your eyes, because if they try to help you, they move their toes if you've already polished, and it messes up the polish. So you have them close their eyes, you pinch here, you have them open their toes and then guide, and you guide the slipper in. They close their eyes or look away and they have their toes open if you've polished prior to putting the flip-flop on. The best thing to do is to put the flip-flop on first before polishing. And then coming in, if you need additional, putting in your toe separators in between the toes. And then from here, you can go ahead and polish. You can let them walk out like this, okay? Or have them go sit in a lounge properly. This is the way you should and supposed to do it. So let them sit in a lounge, let it dry, then come check on them, spray some dryer on it, put some cuticle oil. When it's done, take this off, take the slipper off, and let them put their shoe back on. Or typically, people will come with flip-flops because they know they don't put their socks back on, but some people come with socks and they might need to walk out with the slippers, okay? You might not always need to put this here. Maybe you need to start this on the side, on the second toe, okay? Maybe you don't need the space between these two toes, okay? So later next week, we'll show you a different way to do it, okay? But these are toe separators. These are foam, okay? Once that they are used, they are thrown away. Okay, if you walk in the parking lot with these, they're foam, they're very flimsy, they tear, rip easily. You want to tell your client to be careful so they don't trip or fall or hurt themselves. Usually, I don't like letting clients leave the salon with these on because that's a hazard. Okay, if something happens, they fall and bust their head open, whose fault was it, right? Who do they blame? All right, so that is that there. So you can definitely do that, okay? particular tropical service for the foot. Okay, now foot and leg. Okay, now in the description box, I put a little note there that this whole time I'm recording of just the foot treatment. Okay, but the option to do the foot and the leg is, because obviously I don't have the leg part here to show you, right? But the option to do the foot and leg, you're doing everything exactly the same, except you're working from the knee to the tip of the toe. So, for example, when you were doing your scrub, okay, we were doing the scrub to the foot, right? You go all the way up to the knee and you bring it back down. Okay, so that was a scrub, okay? Whenever you're soaking the feet, you're just soaking the feet. You don't soak the legs or add water to it or anything like that. When you're doing the scrub, you can, okay? Getting all that dead skin off. When you're, using the squeezy bottle or when you're rinsing, you want to rinse from the knees down. Okay, when you're doing the massage, you want to go from the knees down. Okay, that's the video you'll watch. Follow that when you're working from the knees down. Okay, same concept, same everything, same manipulation, same movements, except you are working from the knee to the toe instead of just the foot. Okay, you can do just the foot service or you can do leg and foot service. That would be your option. Okay, once your client is ready, you're going to go ahead and make sure you take your gloves off. You're going to sanitize, disinfect, sterilize whatever you need to, making sure that everything is nice, neat, and clean. Just because you wore gloves does not mean you do not need to wash your hands and sanitize after. We always do that. And then always making sure to look around your floor for any water you've dripped or dropped. And then also your tabletop towels, make sure to wash them with bleach and making sure that you have everything prepared for your next client. All right, and so that is your tropical leg and foot treatment. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you on the next one.